Hi and welcome back. Mark Haines here at Mark Haines Golf. Today I wanted to take you through, and this is really a clip for everybody who's sort of across the line with their golf club at the top, and I wanted to take you through a real life student of mine who's done really well in changing his swing and what he's done with his swing here, and the results he's seen have been very good. So I thought he'd take you through a guided tour of a real life situation where Robin here has done a great job with his swing, and it's made a huge difference to his game. So what I'd like this to be able to do for you is to help you if you're in the same situation. Maybe you know your swing is across the line, or when you see what we run you through here, maybe there'll be some maybe there's some similarities to what you see in your game, and hopefully this can help you too. So we're going to look at Robin's swing from the back first. His old swing here is on the left. So initially, Robin's setup isn't too bad really. And his old one, his head's a little bit down, which we've altered, but generally pretty good. The key bit for him is that Robin had turned very early, and it turned down quite a bit as well with his left shoulder, which we'll show you more from the front angle. And because he was kind of moving things a little bit in the wrong order for him, the club would go quite a lot behind him, or sort of over his leg line at this stage of his swing. And the problem this causes, if the club's going this kind of around, or this much around your body at this stage, it's got to try and sort of come up sort of more vertical at some point. And then when it does that, continue with the extra turn, then the club starts to look what we call across the line, which is where the club shaft points like this, and that closes the club face a lot. And you can see Robin's hands look kind of a long way behind his body line. So then the problem with this, it can be a little bit inconsistent, because you've got to change the shaft coming down. It's there's some compensations or some manipulations required from this position at the top to really get the club back down effectively. So from here, Robin's got to try and kind of unwind this shaft position and start his hands going away from him, because they've gone behind him too much on the backswing. So as soon as you start hitting away from yourself in golf, or hitting out here, then you're definitely leaving yourself open for a little bit of inconsistency with the ball flight. So as Robin hits away from himself here, trying to rework the shaft into a better position and try and change the face into a more neutral or more open position, then as he gets down to here, his hands and club are hitting away from him, like I've already mentioned, like this, so away to the right, and it brings the shaft in quite vertical. So this can basically mean some blocks out to the right, some hooks if he turns the club face over to actually compensate, and it could go left, or we could even get some shanks, as the hosel going towards the ball here. So if you're hitting any blocks, hooks, or potentially some shanks, then you too could be kind of hitting away from yourself, or getting the club delivering a bit too vertical with it travelling out to the right here. So then Robin would tend to turn the face over quite a bit on the way through, and to make up for that. So if we look at his new one here on the right, we've changed his posture slightly, it's a bit more up with his head. Now when he moves it, we worked on turning later in his swing, so he feels like he's not turning as much at the start. With the old one, where it used to go in too much at the beginning, the new one now actually sets a lot more sort of out here, or a little bit in front of his toe line. So when the club goes up, and then he sort of gets a bit of turn at the end, then the shaft can look on a very different angle, and you can see where his hands and arms are organised differently at the top of his swing here. And this is a much simpler position to bring the club down from, so there's less work needed to bring the club back in. So from here, the club can drop differently, there's not as much kind of unwinding of the shaft going on, and when Robin comes down, he starts actually looking like he's hitting more down the right line on the way through. So the crucial bit to this, and then what you find for most people who are sort of across the line, is they tend to turn too much too early, or the club is going too much around or too much in at the beginning. So if you're trying to take the club in a lot at the beginning, maybe you're trying to keep the club inside on the way down. Inside on the way back doesn't necessarily mean inside on the way down. So if you're trying to take it a long way around your body, or inside on the way back, then there's a good chance you could be looking like this at the top of your swing. And if you're getting inconsistencies with your ball flight, then that's probably the root cause of your problem. Okay, so if we take a look at Robin's front now, so again his old front on the left here, so we can see here that everything turns together around him quite early in his swing. So for Robin, this right side's going around too soon and up too much at the beginning, so his strikes look very, very down at this stage. So the new one we worked on being a bit more level at the beginning, and then working around a little bit at the end of his swing. So again, you can see the difference in the old one where the right side's going around him quite a lot all the way back, and the difference in his arms at the top of his swing here. This right arm and right shoulder is far higher than the new one, which really affects what the club's doing and the club shaft, and that across the line position at the top of the swing. So in the old one from here, he's got to try and unwind all this back into the ball, which he generally wasn't doing a bad job of, but it was a bit inconsistent for him. So the new one, when he comes down, he finds it much easier to bring the club down now and get into a much better hitting position. So what I'd recommend is if you find yourself across the line, it's not producing the results with the ball flight that you're after. Potentially, maybe trying to take the club around your body a lot at the beginning or inside, then maybe you might need to reconsider what's going on there and look at changing how you're moving the club at the beginning to get the club in a better place at the top, and then ultimately give you this more consistent, repeatable and more effective results that I'm sure you're after. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this session. Hope you've enjoyed this. If you're across the line or maybe going in quite a bit, then this is definitely a good one for you. Hopefully this helps, and I'd love to get your feedback. Let me know if it helps or not, whether it doesn't, and then I can put more clips for you together in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.